Hey y'all, thank you. Stop now. Don't stop. All right, that's fine. I ain't gonna keep being corny every time. I probably will be. I'm corny, and it's okay. I'm a corny person. I'm boring and corny. I've come today. It does. Okay, we're not gonna get into all of that. We probably will. It's fine. Happy Thursday. Y'all see me? Don't I seem better? I know. Y'all waiting for this to be a consistent thing, right? I can't promise that, but it's okay because we're here on the B Mix. It's our safe haven. Everybody is welcome. Why? Because right here on the B Mix, it's for everybody. Duh, the unseen, the unheard, the forgotten, the unspoken. Let's start adding some more to it, right? The overlooked. We already said the unheard, whether if it's the forgotten part of you or for the person that doesn't belong anywhere, the me, B. So welcome or welcome back to another episode of the B Mix right here on BeExposedRadio.com. Hey Sherry, hey boo, I love you. Listen, let's get on into this thing today. Thank you. See, Sherry said that's okay. And I appreciate that because that's the support I need. I just be me. That's it. And that's how I want everybody else to be. We don't all have to be the same. I literally just want everybody to be authentically them, whatever that means. And I think deep in my heart, I feel like nobody, like just like no one's born a murderer. I don't believe anyone's born a rapist. I don't think anyone is even born a racist. These are like learned behaviors. These are like triggers. These are things that kind of come and build on and this and that. Sherry said she loved me too, y'all. Just like I know. You can't tell me nothing now. The world would definitely be a much better place if people would just be authentically them. Because then me being authentically me automatically like institutes and enforces me. No, I don't even want to say forces because it's an authentic thing, right? So authenticity is it's contagious. There's your first B tip of the week, baby. Okay. Authenticity is contagious because since I am authentically me, it commands me to respect you being authentically you, whatever that is, no matter how different it is for me, because I'm just me. And so you're just being you, and that's okay. And so we are really here on the B Mix, like we are embracing whoever we are. Along with the intro, I used to always have this part on it too, and it kind of just fell off after a while. So forgive me, but I used to always say, and here and there, I remind us that, here on the B Mix, it's authentic material. It's raw material. It's organic. I mean, we should have organic feelings. We should always share, authenticity. It invokes a spirit of vulnerability. Like I'm coming out the gate on it today, honey. Okay. Like I am feeling so much better than I was feeling last week. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for coming back. After last week, baby, my love, I'm gonna blow y'all a kiss on the hand that don't have a broke nail. There we go. Because y'all deserve that. Here, you hear me? Tell me why you deserve it. Okay. Because I keep singing the song in my head. But either way, y'all don't even have to tell me why y'all deserve it. I'm telling you, y'all deserve this love, all this energy, all this good vibe that you're getting from me right now. You totally deserve that. Take that in for a minute. Have you ever I guess I can say naturally, or I'll say commonly. So most common, we hear of how a lot of us, we will invite or entertain rather, or enjoy in a sense, in a sick, twisted way, like negative thoughts, negative vibes. Somebody has an attitude, we've just let that in and let that kind of come in. Lord, y'all, excuse me. Got excited now and belched up. Again, authentic me, boom. Just like I'm loving how my locks are just so like, I'm loving this top thing going on here. When I say I just pulled these up and wrapped one around real quick, and they were like extra wild, like they were up, they starting to fall down now, but I love it. I love how free my hair is deciding to be today. So, oh God, y'all, my back is. Welcome Welcome to 31 with me. It's my leg. I did something to my left leg. It's my right knee, and it's my back. Oh God, moving on. But like for us to just be us, it's freeing. It's enjoyable, it's peaceful, it's lovable, it's approachable, it's honesty. Oh, there go the dog. Eating that rubber ball. That's what he's doing. I'm gonna stick beside him. Yeah, that's mine. It's all of those things wrapped up into one. And it's what we ought to, share amongst, like, when you are authentically you, what is inside of you, and we've talked about this before, whatever is inside of you will like seep out of your pores. Okay, raise of hand. Anybody been drinking at some point? I ain't calling you out now. I'm just saying, at some point in life, right? Ever either drink too much or just drank, I don't know, some old sweaty after was it not after party? What's it called? After hour. Okay, some after hour spot that was all smoky and sweaty, and it could have just been the club too, or just wherever you were, the bar, wherever you were, just out, some party, house party, whatever, cookout, anything. And you're drinking all that, and so you get somewhere else. Let's not really call it out for the folks that that party, that outing was Saturday night. You got to church Sunday. Yeah, you took your shower and all that, but baby, so it didn't matter that you had washed yourself clean, had doused yourself in, good smells and, maybe the honeys and the essential oils and this and that, baby. And you still get somewhere and you're like, ooh, I smell this liquor coming up out my pores, Jesus. It's one too many shots. Like so it was in you, but alcohol is not authentically you. You understand what I mean? So think of it like just for that being an example, but that's in like the opposite direction, right? So we think in the much better direction of just it being you, it being inside of you, it being a part of you, it being you, and that seeping out of your pores. Like, come on, Sherry, it has no choice but to just shine forth. Amen. It's good. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. It really has no choice. Like your authentic self has no choice but to seep through. So it's going to come out anyway. The issue is that when we talk about, especially in as it relates to like relationships and things, and we'll be like, oh, you finally, it's finally becoming a lot more common now in the conversations about it and around it of, I guess, enough of us in the thriving generation right now, the millennials, that, enough of us have had enough failed relationships or friendships or whatever, work ships, family ships, self ships, whatever, right? And so I guess we've learned enough to have the good part of the conversation, whether it doesn't mean the feel good or the look good, but the good work part of the conversations that we're having now. So there's one thing that I've seen around the internet again. It was like out before at some point, kind of went away, came back of, oh shoot. What was it, y'all? I lost my train of thought. It happens. It's something about dang, it's gonna come back to me, y'all. Dang. You know why? Because I look down at my calendar. Y'all know I always start off. Oh, I dropped something. I always start off with sharing with y'all our moments, y'all. So we're gonna take a little pause on what we was talking about, and we're gonna come back to it because my thought is gonna come to me. So let's have our moment of a history of racial injustice, brought to us by Equal Justice Initiative and the calendar. So this Thursday we have the 22nd. Today is okay. So in 1899, moments before his trial to begin, a white mob whips Frank Embry, a black man, over 100 times and hangs him in front of more than 1,000 onlookers in Fayette, Missouri. I almost read it misery, but I'll leave that for you all to interpret how you see fit. So wow, Frank Embry, we apologize. It wasn't us, it wasn't our people. But still, we apologize and we honor your life. So sorry that you lost it in 1899 on this day. Like, was he not already waiting for trial? I'm confused. Okay. Oh Lord. Yeah, just always a reminder that of how much racial injustice has taken place, how much is currently taking place, and how much we want and need it to come to a screeching halt. Okay. Okay, jumping back into our conversations, I had to slow our train down for a second because even I was like running with all of that energy. See how I have to, I understand. Yeah, I get it, y'all. We get all excited and we take it and we run with it. I still definitely don't remember what it is I was trying to remember, but that's okay too. It's so crazy because I've seen it recently. Of like, it was just relationships and how we used to always say one thing and now finally people are starting to say it a different way. That, it was like of saying, thank you, Lord. Oh, brought it back to me, of like seeing people for who they are, right? So we used to always say like, oh, they changed. I can't believe it. They changed on me. They changed up on me. And so even just as recent as today, I think this morning, I saw a repost of like, well, no, they didn't. And I love the way they kind of wrote it out. But in the gist of it was, no, they didn't necessarily change on you. You finally really just saw who it is that they are. That, of course, the whole idea of, ignoring signs in the beginning and not wanting to see them or not being in a place where you can even acknowledge what red flags are and signs and things like that of, run the other way. And so the fact that we are now embracing that conversation and that idea as far as relationships, then we think of for ourselves that those people, they could have truly, like, of course, again, learning who they truly are. Just, it could have been mean, nasty, bitter, narcissist, whatever. Just a not good, not nice person. Is that, that really could have come from just suppressing, who it is that they truly were before, that they were somebody. I'm sure there's a sure correlation between, being this person that you have experienced to, who they've never been able to be in the first place. Did y'all catch that? Okay. I'm pretty sure of it. Now I've got to do some research or somebody do it for me. Even if you do it while we're here on the show now, like, feel free to call in 443-642-9403, text or call in 443-642-9403. Oh my gosh, I remember the number. Great. If you find something that says yay or nay, if there is a direct correlation between who somebody becomes, which I feel like we all kind of agree anyway, but still, I get that some of us and some of you out there, what you deserve and have the right to, but some people need it more than others of like, nope, give me some hard facts. I need, stats. I need science. I need, this justification, not a problem. Totally respect that. And I'm that way when it comes to certain things, sometimes just situational. Some things I'm like, I can rock with that, but I kind of need to see it written down. I need to see that somebody work through the scientific method. Like, I need to see, I need some proof. But, so the fact that, if I have never been able to just be who I am, more than likely I have combed that over because I've never been able to be who I am. So more than likely I've never been able to figure out who it is that I really am. And so because of that, I have now combed over this shell of something else. And so I've gone into survival mode because I'm protecting this thing that must be precious because I've never been able to have access to. Come on, I'm talking good today. Like, I've never been able to have access to this precious thing, which is my most authentic self because of whatever reason, because of the family I've come from, the upbringing that or atmosphere and environment that I've, been surrounded by, or, the different areas and, environments are different things. So they're like, we have the, folks in church or, schools that we went to, the neighborhoods, the city, state, country, the families that we're from, whatever the case may be. And then all of that is different for people too. We have people in foster care, just anything, whatever your situation is. So whatever your environment, or environments with an S were, added to and poured into who it is that you have become. And so what you are and who you are right now may not necessarily be your most authentic self. This is why it's the push for, it's never going to be an episode of the B Mix here on BeExposedRadio.com that you never hear me say or mention anything about self-reflection. So this is why I push and we push here on the B-Mix self-reflection, because it's through self-reflection and meditation and prayer and just time with self, time with your divine being, like that you get to, get closer with who it is that you are at the core of you. There is a core to us all. No, it's not just your belly, but like, your belly button is deep. It runs in there somewhere. It was connected to who it is that gave birth to you. But the thing is, even deeper than that, I'm talking so good. The Lord is really talking through me tonight. You hear me? Because not only was it connected to who it is that gave birth to you, but more importantly, it's connected to who it is that gave you life. Now, I know Black mothers love to say, I brought you in this world, I take you out, I gave you life. No, you gave birth to me. Is not to disrespect it, because I'm a mother myself, a Black mother at that. So I totally hear that. But that's not the case. My mother did not give me life. She gave birth to the life that was already created up in heaven. We were up in heaven. You can't tell me no different. I don't care what you believe in, baby. Atheist, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, like anything else that you believe in, devil worshiper, whomever, guess what? Your soul was created, was molded, and intentionally created, wonderfully and fearfully made up in heaven, baby. Nothing under these skies, in the skies, above the sky, around the skies. Nothing happens without God say so. And now I'm just telling you some good stuff. Okay, don't think that. Okay, just saying. So, it's about the whole point, and the walk of life is, our journey back to Christ, right? Our journey with Christ back to God, because we came from him. So if I came from something, the journey is back to. And so because it's getting into what is at the root of me, at the very core of me, which is my soul. And so that brings us to our topic, that our soul is intended to go the distance. It's intended, okay? The intent of your soul is distance, period. Okay? That's it. The intent of your soul, this is your ultimate B tip of the week. The intent of your soul is to go the distance. The picture that I posted, or meme, whatever, again, I always struggle to call it a meme when it's just words, but y'all get what I'm saying. That I reposted, that I honestly just found randomly on the internet. So I've really shared with y'all things that'll be like, whoo, that thing shook me up. Okay, this shook me up, especially during the time. Remember last week when it was a quirky show? Like, baby, to make it through the show last week, ooh, God. Okay, shout out to Aunt Ted. Ooh, God, like that. Ooh. But we made it, right? Not only did we make it through that show last week, and through the evening, into that Friday, into that weekend, into this week, we made it all the way, like a full 7 days. Like, here we are back. Here I am back with y'all again. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I didn't do it myself, baby. If I did it myself, I just would have just thrown the towel. Like, I just would have been sitting there, butt naked, ashy, hairy, and musty, just in a corner, just like rocking myself. I don't know. I did not feel like it. I did not want to. I did not feel like it. And so the mere fact that, like I said, this post that I found and saw in that time says this: you feel unsettled because you know you are meant for more. Did you hear me? Did y'all hear that? Like, come on now. I'm gonna say it again. Because I need it to literally like shock your soul, shock your spirit, shock your heart, shock your mind, shock your flesh, your hands, your feet. Okay, whatever your hands are to touch, I needed to invigorate that all over again. The anointing that's in your hands, the anointing that's on your feet, to get you to walk the guided path that's been, predestined for you in the first place. My shirt says manifesting my destiny, but I always yield to God in the fact that he is really manifesting my destiny, because he's the one that knows it. Me, I get it. We're in this age and phase now of life where a lot of us, so I'm manifesting all. Sure. Be humble though. I said this before, and because I know I said it, I mentioned it when I was asked to preach, right? And mentioned that, be humble. We're only, whatever we feel as though we're manifesting, we're only manifesting what it is that God already intended for our lives in the first place. And so if it's God, the creator of all, and he's the one that took his time to create each and every last one of us as individuals. And I'm talking all of us, not just black and brown, not orange, yellow, slant eye, cock eye, cross eye, knock knee, K-leg, all of us, right? Like that he created each and every last one of us beautifully, fearfully, and wonderfully made, correct? And so if that's the case, and again, he's the creator of all, then, and he owns my soul he made, and then created this, outward appearance to house this soul that is connected to him and that he deserves for it to be returned unto him. So for me to walk and live this life in order for him to have it back, right? He even willing to take it all beat up, nasty, ugly. Oh God. My spirit got bullet holes and stab marks and cigarette burns and just blunt ashes. It smelled like liquors. My spirit is so like the appearance of my spirit is ugly, but the authenticity of my spirit is so dope. It's so beautiful. It's so refreshing. I know that about myself. And I'm not a boastful person, but I know me. I know Benia. Okay. And that's who I'm supposed to know most. And I only know her as much as I do through God, through Christ Jesus. Just saying, y'all, listen, now I'm just letting y'all know what's good for you, because this is what got me. That's who and how I've gotten to, come back to y'all this way, this vibrant after last week. Last week was like, child, forget now. What y'all how much y'all making on OnlyFans? Because I got some good material now. Excuse me. So again, if it's the creator of all, every single thing, he's everywhere all the time. Come on, he knows all. That means that there's no way what it is that he created is meant to go is meant to be temporary, or is meant to be mediocre, or is meant to be short or stay. And I'm not coming for don't get stuck on I'm short, in height. That's not what I mean. We got to think larger. Right. And so it's just not meant to be average, or like I said, mediocre or anything like that. It's meant to go the distance. I am this vibrant. I am invigorated all over again. I am refreshed. I am renewed. I am regenerated, simply because I know that what it is that resides deep within me at my most authentic self is connected divinely to the Most High. Right. And so because of that, it's meant to go the distance. So the beautiful thing is that it sits within inside of me. So my outward appearance, my flesh, the body that y'all see, this brown, okay, this hue, okay, this brown hue, baby, these locks. Okay. Y'all know I believe I have a big butt, because I was about to say this big old butt, but it's not. It doesn't matter. Listen, it's me. I can, my authentic self, but whatever. Me though, my outward appearance, my 5'7.5", y'all can mind your business about your weight until I'm ready to say that, but whatever, 2 something, get mind your business now. That's all I'm giving y'all. Whatever judge your mother. But this whole me, because it houses a divine part of the Most High, gets to also go the distance, because of what's inside of me is meant to go the distance. So we felt unsettled all this time. I felt this, I had a therapy appointment earlier or whatever. So my therapy session, right? And so I'm doing my best to try to describe and explain this time frame, in the past 2 weeks or so, not this week, but last week and the week prior, just a roller coaster of emotions, a roller coaster of just mental, just thoughts and, just trying to figure things out. So there's realistically, but, mostly emotionally driven, of just literally going through place. I might have shared this last week that I was at a place where it's I want somebody's son to cuddle me, but I don't want to be touched. I want you to hold me, but don't touch me. but then I'm very picky. So it's like, I'd rather, abstain from being around anyone intimately or especially sexually, sensually, anything like that, simply because I want it all. I am so ready, if you ask me, so ready, and this is so beyond me, so ready to be someone's wife. Whoever's wife I am meant to be, I'm so ready to be that, because I only want that connection. I only want that reciprocity, like from that person, like from whose rib cage I was made from. Like, that's it. I don't want it from. Been there, done it. Drag season. Been there, done that. Was great at it. Didn't care. Like, and didn't mean I had to have a long roster. Didn't matter. It's just the mere fact that I was good at it. Like, I know how to play my position. I knew what I wanted. Like, and I didn't play anybody out of, like, I didn't play people. That's the thing. I was authentic, but still, you know what I mean? Like, I could play the game. I recognize the game, all of that, yada, yada. And so it's saying that, because some people, it'll be like, oh, you must not have been, good at whatever. It could be the game. Yes, Sydney. No, because you're not going to put it on mommy. We'll put it on for you, okay? Thank you. I'll put it on. Go ahead. I'll put it on later. Come on. Don't start all that. Thank you. You're fine. I will tie your hair down in a minute. You're welcome. Thank you. Did a good job earlier. I saw you come down and grab your stuff and go back up. Quietly. Had to be some reason though. But like that, people will think that you're done with something. You can write something off because you must not have been good at it. No, I could have been the best basketball player, but now I'm done with it. Now I'm tired of it, or just simply done with it. That's okay. Like, I even realized that with y'all know I've resigned. Like, so I don't know, like, you either run into people or people ask, like, randomly, if it was my sister's mom, and she asked, like, oh, where are you working now? Like, just catching up with her family. And then it's like I stumbled over my words, because it's like, of course, Benia usually identifies with, where I work, what I'm doing for work. And so I start there and I'm like, oh, well, I was. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. No, I was. And I'm like, well, I resigned. So, okay, let me start there. Let me breathe. And then I go into, like, my stuff. And it's like, now I feel like I'm not coming clear. Like, just ask me later when I'm, I don't know, more sustained. I don't know. Right. And so I realized though, like, I didn't leave from, I think it was the best time really to absolutely step out, into entrepreneurship, like my entrepreneurial journey, simply because I didn't leave, like, still, like, I don't have a disdain for the work that I did. I don't even have a disdain for the people, for the old employee, like the executive director, for the unprofessional secretary, like, none of that, all of that nastiness and messiness and bitterness and yada yada. Like, I did not accept it. I didn't receive it. I didn't accept it into me. I didn't allow it to be transferred to me. Like, I did not receive that energy. I met it at the door. I responded to it as best as I knew how and could and should have, I believe. And that was it. And I was able to walk away from it still knowing that absolutely love and have the utmost respect for workforce development and for, programs and partnerships and things of that. And like all of that type of work, I love it. I thrive. I'm very good at advocacy. All of those things. So it's like, it doesn't mean I was bad at it. And that's why I was like, oh, yep, I was able to resign. I just walked away from it. No. So it's the same thing. Like, far from, so we're talking about professionalism versus like social norm as far as, drag season and the game, but it's really the same thing. So it's like, again, it goes back to authenticity. Authentically, within myself, it's just like, I know and have always known that I'm meant for more, meant for greater, meant for better. Even in the times where I have fallen to become complacent with where I was, whether where I worked or the friends that I had, and I didn't even know, at the moment in the time. So even though my authentic self stays there, but my mind or even my heart will distance itself from my most authentic self. And so that's why it's all about, when we talk about alignment, everybody's into the crystals and all of these, different things. When we talk about the universe and did I say universe? Universe and the ancestors and all of this. But again, it always comes back to God. Like, we can believe and talk about anything we want now. It's totally fine. Because even I say it, like, sometimes even there are some posts where, like, depending on what they say, like, oh, the universe is giving, okay. And then other times, like, it's God, right? But okay. Like, it all comes back to him. Like, he allows and creates it all, but he also knows who and how he created us. So he understands that during whichever seasons of each of our individual lives, and even knowing that there are some similarities and commonalities amongst mass majority of us, enough for these different beliefs and phenomenons to come about, that, you know, he allows us to understand it, or to partake or participate in them, in these different, you know, beliefs, based on, you know, how it is that we learn, how it is that we'll understand, and hopefully, you know, when you just come to grips and understand, like, this, baby, listen, I'm the one that I totally say, you know, stuff about, like, listen, when I'm seasoning to the ancestors tell me not to. But here's the thing, my deeper self, I may not think about it or say it in that moment when I'm just conversing with someone about it, or just in my own, just, you know, thought while I'm seasoning or cooking and yada yada. But my deeper self thinks, like, yeah, my ancestors, but it's because I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and God is the one true living God, right? And that he resides in heaven. I totally believe that my ancestors, that, you know, that fought the good fight, and, you know, not lost, but, you know, crossed over to see glory because they deserved it, and that they worked hard for it, and that they did the best they could, and this, that, and the third. That's where they are. So when I'm praising my ancestors, it's because I believe I know where they are, that they are in heaven. Okay. So when we're talking about, oh, I'm talking to my ancestors. Oh, the universe. Yeah. The universe that God created. Oh, my ancestors, the ancestors that are sitting at the right hand of the Father, Father God, like, in heaven. Like, just saying, where is it that you believe that your ancestors are? I know that we have a very clear depiction of something like when we think about the Black Panther in Wakanda. Right on. Okay. Right on. In my opinion, that's their section of heaven. Like, like, that's it. Like, everything goes right back to it. Call me churchy, whatever. It's so funny because the world calls me churchy and the church calls me worldly. It's fine. Again, I'm a misfit. I fit nowhere, and it's totally okay because I was uniquely, wonderfully, fearfully, beautifully made by God himself. So here's the thing. And there's a couple things, and I'm going to just run some stuff down until we out of time. Okay, I'm going to just run some stuff down. We can stop and talk about some things. You got some questions, ask me now. Or, you know, as we go through them, even call in or text, again, 443-642-9403. Like, do not be shy, is all I'm saying. Like, please don't be shy. Just, I get it, though, because, again, I'm like what is it? Is it omnivert? The extrovert and introvert? But I always really like to say I'm the most extroverted introvert you could ever meet. Like, y'all have no idea the anxiety still to date that I deal with internally, of just like, okay, I'm going to speak out, I'm going to say stuff, okay, what's happening? But then that's what activates my faith. Like, Lord, you got to speak through me, because baby, I don't see it, I don't feel it, and I really don't want to. I don't want to say all this. Like, legit. Like, and then again, and I'm gonna get to what I was about to share with y'all. Like, I legit, it makes me tip my hat to, you know, folks that, you know, that have committed to these things, like to preachers that get up every single week, before the pandemic, now even during the pandemic, just every week to, you know, bring forth the word of God, and not just them, but just anyone, any talk show host. So shout out to all, I can't believe this, I'm just doing this, but shout out to all of the hosts of all of the shows right here on BigSpoilsRadio.com. I'm blown away, like, truthfully, and I'm only a year into this thing. So just imagine how it was this time last year. Like, they do this all the time. Oh my gosh, they're so good at it. Like, I literally still feel that way. Like, I'm a groupie for it. Like, groupie in a good way. Let me not use that word. I use that word a little too loosely, but whatever. I know what I meant by it. Either way. And so, like, but just any talk show host abroad, like, I'm talking about around the world, any podcaster, blogger, vlogger, like, anyone that's committing to, you know, pouring themselves out into anything. And I say anything because now I was just talking about shows and different platforms that are similar to the B-Mix, but now I mean anybody. Like, I legit think about anybody that gets up and goes to work and do whatever it is that you do. I don't care if it's flipping a burger, dropping fries, frying hair, wiping adult behind, wiping baby noses, like teaching, anything that you find yourself doing that, especially when it benefits someone else, right? So you are clocking in somewhere or not, right? And because for the entrepreneurs, so not necessarily clocking in, but you are doing something and you are committing your energy, your time, and your efforts, and giving your spirit and giving your heart, hopefully, and your mind, like you're working the anointing in your hands. Like I've told y'all this all before. Do not be surprised when all of us are in ministry. Cut it out. Like, cut it out. Whether you're in church, whether you got title or not, you're working ministry, because that is the work of God. Like, it's actually boots on the ground doing the work amongst the people. Where are the people? Not everybody's high up. We always say that not everybody can be on top. Not everybody can be the leader. I can't say, now I'm not saying we're supposed to tell children, like, look, you ain't gonna be no leader, little Dante. It's just not gonna happen. Just go ahead and just, settle out for less. Like, I'm not saying to do that, but it is like realistic conversation, especially when they get to a certain age and just really having to make some decisions about life and things. Like, it's because it's about what? Aiding the most authentic self, finding, familiarizing, and staying connected with the most authentic self, right? And so, just as I just tip my hat to, because what did I say before? Now I ain't gonna lie, I kind of forgot about how I worded it, but it was the first B tip of the week. Like, it was, authenticity is contagious because it invokes, respect, or authenticity commands respect. And so because I am most authentic with myself, or at least I try to be, and that's the thing, it's just like healing. It's a forever process. Sometimes where I can find myself like, oh, why am I playing this game over here like that with these people? Let me back to me. And that could mean that I didn't just shut down all of a sudden. That's probably why I found myself right before I really stopped like partying and stuff like that, I found myself out with clubs or parties and like, like, just sleep. I've gone to sleep, like, just whatever. And it doesn't mean just that. It could be anything, whatever it is that you're just not into anymore. That's okay. You distance yourself, right? And so sometimes my body and my mind, my heart, and all my spirit and my soul did it for me, like, unbeknownst to me. And I'd be like, okay, I don't know what's going on with me, but I just don't want to be here. I just don't want to be around you people. I just don't want to talk to you. Like, I just wouldn't know. Like, whatever. And again, it's been misconstrued and misinterpreted as, I guess, fake and phony, but that's fine. They definitely wanted to think that Jesus was fake and phony, and he was literally the most authentic person to ever walk the face of the earth. So, am I comparing myself to Jesus? No, but I work every day to be more like him. Amen. And so, it's like because I am, or strive to be my most authentic self as much as humanly possible. Again, it commands me to respect you all, each of you, in your respective places of your residence, places of worship, places of employment, places of unemployment. I mean, whatever. Please don't think, it's just whatever it is that you do to pour out onto people. And I'm using the word just, but not disrespectfully. But if it is just, pouring into your children, that's enough. And again, I'm just using the word just loosely, but I don't mean it in any other, any way beside that, because that's huge enough. I've always been that person, like, literally when we, and I say we, like the class, I was born. I was born in 2008. Lord Jesus. Ooh, it's a far. No, it's not just born in 2008. Maybe that's when I was reborn. No, I don't know. Maybe that's the spirit telling me something. But I graduated high school in 2008. And so, 08. And so, like, our grade, like, when we first came out of high school, and I'm looking at saying, and remember, I attended the best high school in the city, of course, Western High School, only the best, period. Dove love, baby. And So it is all girls, high school, the oldest public all girls high school in the country. Yes, we always have to run it down because y'all really got to put some respect upon it. The disrespect just be like, they love to hate the great. Oh, did y'all love that? That was good. That just came off. Anyway, so just when we first came out of high school, so us being, a female, so of course, just there were feminine accomplishments, I say. And I say that because, some people became mothers, and that's okay. Like some people, and I don't mean immediately, but whatever, if they did, just whatever, but just as in like, so became mothers. It was people either entering into college or once we were starting to come out of college. People accepting job offers, just whatever. I mean, I was rooting for us all, and I still am. I am just that person by nature. I am a human cheerleader. Like, again, I told y'all, not literally, because y'all not going to put me at the bottom of the pyramid. I'm not playing. I'm going to the top. I don't care. Now, what else? So, like, I just root for people, and it's because of what I've learned over these years now. I'm not going to say how many, but it's been a while, right? 2008, a little while ago, that, I've come to grips and realized that it's because I'm my most authentic self, or at least, again, trying to be and striving to be. And so striving to be my most authentic self commands me to respect other people in their respective places, and then it commands me to root people on, not just to respect them because I respect that, okay, but sometimes it helps to pat your brother on the back, pat your sister on the back, and give kudos and credit where it's due. Like, oh, I see you. Like, no, we don't necessarily have to. We absolutely could all stay in our shells and say nothing to each other, nothing to anyone ever whatsoever, but just saying, like, it helps. I'll admit, I know for sure I can really relate and can appreciate all 5 of the love languages, all 7 of them, all 7 of the 5, because I'm sure there are others that I could love and appreciate and would find, to do something for me. Yet I'm very clear now that my love language is words of affirmation. Like, sometimes, like, I'm just that I've, let's see, when I was a new mommy, it was like, is this normal? Is it like pregnant? I was like, oh, is it okay? It's just okay. Like, so you had the baby. Okay. This is okay. This is normal. Okay. Like, I just need just that little bit of reassurance. That's it. That, like, and that I can run with that. Is that all I need? No, I need more love and affection and attention than that. But is that really what does it for me? Yes. Like, just, that was good, babe. Wow, look at you. Hell, just saying bless you when I sneeze. I don't like that. That's reassurance for me. Like, you care that my heart just stopped. Just thank you. Your mama did good with you. You know what I mean? Like, just whatever. And so, again, getting into our stuff, because for real, this is gonna carry on the next week. I can already see that. Again, just write it down. So something else that I'm pretty sure, I think I actually saw this on the internet, and I put this in my notes, that you've healed too much to let anyone or anything trigger the old you. That includes any challenge or opportunity. Okay, so not just people. Oh, so when you hear that of, I feel too much and I can't let anyone, trigger me and all of that. No, remember, it's also anything meaning a new challenge, something. So not just past tense of someone that might have used to trigger, the old you in this healing process that you're partaking in. But, any new challenges, any new, let's think realistic, any new job, any new career path, any new endeavor, any new opportunity, any new achievement, accomplishment in life, anything, a new baby, new direction, new revelation, new vision, new anything, like, just endless. Don't even allow that to trigger the old you. And I say that because I'm just sharing what I've learned. So even in the past week, that I've learned of just how I've been, it's like, okay, with these new, opportunities and new waves of glory coming, because God is cooking up something, y'all. something. And so with all this coming, it did trigger me at some point. Remember earlier I said like it would just be easy to just be butt naked, ashy, hairy, and musty in the corner and just, waving away flag like, nah, listen, y'all can have this. Go on life, go on, you can have this one. I don't care no more. I don't want it. That triggers the old Benia of like, it'd be easier. Like now I denounce that way of thinking, but still, like, did it come up? Like I'd rather just throw in the towel. Let me listen. Now I didn't get too low, I think, to call my old job, but like I'm just like, oh, let me go fill an application, let me just go do this. Like I ain't stupid either though, keep your ears and eyes open. Like an opportunity to come along, that's good. Like someone just called me yesterday and I went and looked like contractual pay cut and definitely worth much more than this. So I'm humble and modest, don't get me wrong, but I'm also intelligent. Woo! Wait till I get that word intelligent. Go hold on to that. I think I'm gonna get to that before the end of before the end of this class. If not, baby, we definitely gonna get into it next week because baby, I got something that was shared with me that's so good. It's so tasty. It's so juicy that I gotta share it. I got to. Okay. Ooh, let me come back. So let me run some stuff down to y'all. This just what I had to. Okay. He sees you. Over the weekend in church, there were different words, and I'm talking about because oh my gosh, I know I'm gonna seem really churchy now, but it's okay. I don't really care about y'all calling me churchy. I actually, it's because it's funny, y'all don't even know this. Like I was never really that person to go to other services and stuff because I didn't really grow up that way. Like we didn't really go to other. We go to church, we get to the 11:30, very late. And that was it. That was church. After that, we was going to see us for mommy to return. Our church closed that we wore this weekend before that weekend and just keep going like that every week and moving on. Child. And so the one time I actually peed in my dress while we were in Sears and then she couldn't return. It was bad. Moving on. And so I actually enjoyed. And there's been an evening service, I can't think of it, but a little while ago, but either way. So over the weekend, there was an evening service. And I had been excited for like, put it in my phone, like in my calendar, like, okay, we had evening service, even this upcoming weekend. So like these 2 weekends back to back, we had evening service somewhere else, fellowship from somewhere else. And so, I won't see somewhere else with another ministry that we're associated with. And so it just felt good. Like I did it. Like we changed clothes. Like we had church on Sunday. It was so crazy. And it was good, I guess, really because of just the place that I had been in too. Like I know the old me would have really been like, look, I barely made I made it to 11 o'clock now. All right now. Right. But no. And just, it was so good. And I'm so glad because the word was so full and was so heavy, not too heavy, but heavy, just heavy enough just for me to, take part in, to chew on, to dissect or digest rather, and dissect for myself. Because the words that were, there were 2 preachers at our service, 11:30. And then when we went to the 4 o'clock, my bishop preached, but then because it was an anniversary service of a pastor that used to be at our church that is now branched off and opened her own ministry, started her own ministry. So it was her 1-year anniversary there. And so shout out to the fact that to find out that she was in ministry or a pastor for 20 years. That's amazing. Either way. And so, yeah, I don't know where my mind went for a second. I was just like, I'm really like in awe, like, wow, 20 years. That's so amazing. Shout out to Tawana Brent, Pastor Tawana Brent, excuse me. That is just amazing to me. And so, so like with just even her remarks, like just, she mentioned what was preached. There was, someone else in her church that preached the word that morning. And it was just so many different words, like for me to just chew on, like so good to me. And so that's where a lot of this comes from. And I knew that I had to share it with y'all. Like God made it so heavy. And it wasn't even that Sunday. Like I think it was the next day or whatever. It was earlier this week where I just I was laying down and rolled over something. And I was just like, okay, yep, Lord, you're right. And I just started. So let's run it down. He sees you and hears you. Keep going. The enemy is after your yes. That almost took me out of here. That's what it is. I've been so unsettled because it's like, it really is. And I know if you're anything like me, like you've heard before, like, okay, yeah, it's coming. God's about to do it. And you'd be like, oh, okay, heard that long enough. Like, and then, or something will come and like, oh, okay, this was cute. This was good. Thanks. I appreciate it. But you don't really want to get to the place of like, that's it. This is what I was waiting on. No, it was like, all right, what you going to do with that? I just gave you a little portion, a little scooping. You good? Oh, you fumbled that. Oh, I can't even give you the whole spoon now. All right. So let's take you back to, shout out to the fact that one time, semi-recently, I heard something in church where it was like, I want y'all to get to a place where I can really receive this the way I was able to, that it was like, like you come up for prayer. So I know this had been before the pandemic, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. But semi-recently where it was mentioned that, you come up for prayer and all that, like the pastors or the ministers, they get tired of having to help you through the same thing over and over and over. Like, and that was me. Like I would, my heart's broken or this, or I'm going back to the same thing, like going through the same stuff, all over again. It was because I was fighting and not getting all the essence out of what I was supposed to get from my circumstance. Like, that's the thing. So do they necessarily know all of your stuff? No. When you go for prayer and all that, like they're, God is speaking through them, back to himself for you on your behalf. And so it's not really like them like, oh Lord, you back up again. Oh my God, he cheated again, girl. Oh my Lord. Like, no, even if that's what you shared, even when they ask like, oh, what do you need for prayer? Like that's just not it. So I really want y'all to be able to receive that the way it was intended and the way I was able to receive it. But like it's keep going. And it's because the enemy is after your yes. So don't give it to him. Give God your yes. Like, so it's kind of like the enemy is running after you, like, come on, give me a yes, give me a yes, give me your goddamn on yes. And you're like, right? I got my yes in my hand. I got it. The enemy wanted, but I should give it to God. God just like, hey, just give me a yes. Hey, God is one cool. He's pretty cool. God is a cool nigga. I'll just listen. I said it. I know. Just in case it ever comes to blow up in my face again. But I said it. Like, he really is. He's so cool. Like, just, hey, you got free will. Listen. And that's always the right way when it's like just that so even us that deal with, anxiety and this and the third, like we got to find how to just settle it out. And I know sometimes easier said than done, but whatever it is that helps us to sizzle it out and fizzle that out and settle that and calm that, because that's where the answers come from. That's where the revelations come from. That's where, the new vision and provision come from, how they come to us, not where they come from. They come from God. Just saying, be clear. Again, I don't care what you believe. I don't care for the atheist. Trust me, it's coming from God. Carry on. That's how wonderful he is. And even if you don't believe in him, he loves you and covers you anyway. And he's asking you to come back to him so then things can just really, work out for your good. But carry on. So again, the enemy's after you. Yes, do not give it to him. You're feeling your labor pain, so we have to push through. That's what this is. So again, where it's like, don't get weary in well doing. So while you're doing the right thing, while you're trying to figure out, while you think you're working the angles and the plan, that you feel as though God has placed over your life, like, try to get some clarity, some reassurance to make sure that you are working the correct plan. And then while you're waiting for those answers and all that, just wait and do what it is that you feel. And, like that, just wait until you feel it. And so with this thing, this unsettledness for some people, again, is your labor pains. And that's what I realized for me, like, yep, I remember this come back to me now. That's what it is. Like, we're all spiritually pregnant. All of us, male and female, or what am I trying to say? Or unidentified gender, whatever you're choosing. That's what I was trying to. So forgive me. I'm trying to leave y'all out. I was trying to use my words correctly because I was really about to say non-binary, but that's not what I wanted to say though. But I figured y'all would understand what I was saying too. But just whatever you identify as, whatever you choose to identify. Hey, Jess. Hey. Yes, period. So glad you're tuned in. Shout out to you. All right, I ain't going to spill nothing, but I'm excited. I'm so excited. Oh, look. So, but yeah, like just You're spiritually pregnant, baby. Okay, no matter what your gender identifies as, whatever science says. Remember how God, like science has to answer to God too. Like I know how we all like, oh, you believe in God or science? Both. Because God makes science and science answers to God. It's fine. I know it's fine. It sounds irrational to you, but it's fine. If it sounds irrational to you, it's because you're a non-believer. So it again, by us all being spiritually pregnant with our purpose, birth it. Labor pains we've been feeling, that unsettledness is labor pains. Push. You got something great finna come. It's coming. It's harvest season. Not to get too deep into the word, y'all, but God said as long as he exists, basically, okay, which is forever. If he existed forever ago and he'll exist for forever, okay, that there shall be seed time and harvest time. The seeds, remember we talked about this, bring it back again, that I said this year, the year 2021 is the year of forward motion. So all the seeds that you planted in 2020, or even for those of you that planted some beforehand, but for me personally, the seeds that I planted and finally gave God my yes and planted in 2020 are coming to fruition and going and growing in 2021 in the years to come, right? And so reap what it is that you have sown. Do not succumb. Remember, I talked about the weariness. Do not succumb to the weariness that you feel. Don't succumb to it. That means to just give in, to die to it. Basically, to die to the weariness, to the tiredness, to the procrastination, to the laziness that you feel like you ought to feel, that you're trying to justify. You can't justify it. Everything can be explained. Not everything can be justified. I will forever say that. That's something I might coin. I have foreverly said that. Okay. I said that 1 trillion, gabillion, Benia, illion times in my life. I truly believe everything can be explained. Not everything can be justified. Okay. And so denounce the doubt and fear you've been feeding yourself. You got to admit that you've been feeding yourself some of the doubt. You've been feeding yourself some of the fear. And that's where it comes from in the Bible, where it says that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of sound mind. Look at me, y'all. Y'all know that's not been my strong point of quoting scriptures now. Now, so wait till I get to matching them up with the scriptural reference. Amen. Woo. Now I'm growing in front of your eyeballs. Now, if y'all ain't seeing my growth, I don't know what else I can give you. Okay. And so the fear, I get that there are some outward, external things that in certain circumstances and situations and challenges and trials and storms and all that may come about that bring on, fear, like, oh Lord, I got it. However, sometimes we bring it on ourselves. We're the one that'll tell ourselves we're afraid of the spider. When in all actuality, like literally, now I'm okay with being vulnerable, and y'all, like, if you choose to judge me, that's fine. Or just think I'm weird, that's totally fine too. I totally embrace weird before it even became a thing. Love that I saw some post earlier. It was like, bro, I love that everybody's on this weird wave now, but where we go when we were getting bullied for it? Moving on. It was weird and I was fat. That was it. I was always bullied for that. Like, okay, I'm weird. A big bone. Okay, got it. Moving on. So I'm pointing, but outside of my front door to the side, there's a spider web. I think it's so cool. And so Benia, Benia, like I am, oh God, I'm petrified of bugs, anything, blah, blah, blah. Even my daughter, right? She knows we do not, I hate to say it, like for the most part, like, we do not like bugs, but what I've made sure that I'm very clear about, because I'm trying to break that and I don't want to pass on any fear to her, unless she has it for herself. Where she has a fear of spiders, I don't know, but that's her own thing. And so even with her having, like I said, her own fear of spiders, and so me even trying to reinforce the fact that it's like, no, we just, bugs inside the house, just so like a fly coming, ooh, it's in here. Like you see an ant, it's gonna go in my ears, and then I'm gonna bleed out ants. I don't know, I know where my fear came from. It was my older brother. He taunted me and told me that bugs would like crawl in my ear and then make babies, and then can't even think about it. See how your words can your words can birth things too. Yeah. So you want to speak life and not death. You don't want to birth death. You don't want to speak birthing death to things. That's something that just works backwards. And so, anywho, so the spider web outside, like, just left it there. Like, instead of me telling myself, I'm so fearful, I'm so afraid of spiders and the bugs, and it could come inside of the. No, I also know that it looks and it's kind of cool. Like, wow, like, girl, look all fluffy. So you worked on this one. This Charlotte, is this Charlotte from Charlotte's Web? Girl, what is you doing in here? Okay, sorry. I am waiting for it to say hi or something, or Benia's house or something, like, just whatever. So, sometimes we're feeding ourselves the fear that we have when really our most authentic self is like, hey, knock, knock. No, we good. We not scared of that. We okay. Like, we like it, actually. Now, learn your likes. Denounce your dislikes, but at least be aware of them. And so God has been showing me that he doesn't want me. Ooh, y'all, I should have waited for next week for this, because I really want to get into this, but we're going to revisit this. He truly has been showing me that he doesn't want me to depend on anyone all my life. All my life, he's brought me to. I know that's why he's allowed, me to have the experience with family that I've had, with friends that I've had, with colleagues and coworkers and employers. That's what I was trying to get at. Employers and employment, with college, with just every area of life. He's always kind of moved. People are like, nope. When you say that you really need something and you really need something right now, I'm not about to let somebody come. Like, it's times when people come and help you or give a helping hand, and it could be, secondary, but it has to be secondary to what I'm giving you, what you're getting from me, right? And this is why I really know we're going to get into, get into this next week, get into this more rather next week. He knows that I even, and hear me when we talk about authenticity, that at the end of it, when it really all boils down to nothing, that even so, when we're talking about depending on and being able to truly trust, and how to go, what to do, how to reassure the fact that, the intent of our soul, that is the distance. Amen. That's what we talked about earlier. That even I can't trust my own self because of what we just talked about, the fear that I'll instill in myself. So I can't even trust I have to lean and depend on him. This home stretch that he's been bringing me through, because he's brought me through, like, hey, you finally let go. You finally allowed me to deliver you from people. I have finally been delivered from people. I talk about that a lot to, like, people individually that I know really need that word and really need it. And while I pray that for the folks that I know in my life that really need that, one I know is just very bitter, and I don't even know if she's aware that that's what that comes from, and she needs to be delivered from people. She carries that, heavily, of just what people have done, what this, and then there, someone else that has the sweet. So, like, from two far ends of the spectrum, still it boils down to that they need to be delivered from people, because it's someone else that has the sweetest spirit, sweetest heart, biggest heart, Lord have mercy, that I've ever met, and still she needs to be delivered from people. So don't think it's just women, it's men, like, all of it. It's really, I think that's all of our issue, that, we are kind of, worried about what the next person says or thinks, or, can take something the wrong way because we're in our own stuff, but it's derived from feeling like, we're losing something because they said something. Like, again, it's back to being our most authentic self, because you might even learn that your authentic self really does not care. And then that's when you can say that. But see, we're out here in society and, painting this whole picture. Oh, it don't matter. I don't care what people think. That's not being your authentic self, because you do. I am able to walk in my most authentic self as much as humanly possible, simply because that is one thing I've always admitted. Like, yeah, I do actually care what other people think. I do care about a reputation. I do care about, just what is said about me. Now, can I control that? No. And I've always relinquished that, of all the control that I've ever felt like I needed to have as my survival mechanism, like or defense mechanism rather, that that's one control that I definitely was able to release. Of like, I can't control necessarily. I can influence what other people think by walking in my most authentic self, walking in my authenticity, but I can't necessarily control, because the story of my life is being misunderstood. Hence why I'm always rooting for the underdog, why I, open this platform the way that I do every week. Simply because that is who I am here to represent, because it speaks to me. I've been the misunderstood, the unseen, the unheard, the overlooked, the forgotten. I've forgotten even own parts of myself. And for the misfit, the person that doesn't belong anywhere, the me, the B, I mean that. That's my authenticity. That's my authentic statement. That's why I say that it's raw, all raw, and organic and authentic material here on the B Mix every week. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying it intentionally because it's from my most authentic self, from the core of me. I'm not just saying it because it's a cool opening. Like, it really came from my place. I'm not gonna say a place, my place, and it came from my place that's connected divinely. So, I mean, it gotta be right. Like, I didn't just hop on here. Like, I made sure everything was aligned and in tune, before I shared anything. When I was just in planning stages, like with my producer now, it's just like, okay, he asked me for this question, asked me for a description. Okay, let me sit, let me think, let me say, okay, and just let God speak through. Like, okay, boom, this is what it is, bet. All right, let's send this on over, right? And so it's because, again, that I yielded to the fact that, and even before I've given myself this credit, so I guess as I continue to reflect on this piece about it, so that's the beauty of when you learn something new about yourself, as you're striving for your authentic self, that you realize that you realize what areas you then need to delve more into, what areas you need to comb through some more, what areas that, you either not necessarily even improve, but I guess that's what it boils down to, but just to familiarize yourself with more. And that's okay. Because again, when I get to a place of like, oh Lord, you're trying to show me that you're detaching me from me. Like, I can't even trust me. Like, the way that I can't trust myself the way I can trust Jesus. That's the thing. I can't trust myself the way I can trust in God. Like, I can't. The point is to be able to trust yourself, yes, but not over God, not idolizing. I'm going to say idolizing. Idolizing myself. No, I don't get to call myself self-made. Some of us can't hear that. I don't get to say I did everything. I pulled myself up from the bootstraps and all, because then in that part right there, you're not being your authentic self, because all you're trying to do is prove yourself to other people, for somebody to be like, oh, girl, you did that by yourself. Oh, okay, bro, you did that all by yourself. No, I didn't. It was God. Through the grace of God. Because I used to think those old people thing, like, oh, old people always say that. Oh, I got it now. You mean when somebody be like, that, what you said today, what you did, that encouraged me now. Hey, woof. Most high, baby, most high, to him. To God be the glory. I can't take that. I remember even after I preach it, which I still, it's a hard time. Like, did that really? But okay, if y'all say it did something. And I remember leaving, everybody that, gave me some words of encouragement and just, praised me for, what had been spoken. I made sure, of course, to literally give God the glory because of that. I was like, well, he said it. Like, he helped me with the notes, or, now given, I know I think I struggle because of, this is why you always allow yourself to be led by the Spirit, no matter what you do, simply because my reassurance would be that I knew that I stood up there and let him speak through me. I was so nervous that I had to make sure that I read my notes that I know that he had given me, but he probably had something different to say even on that day. So I know that's where my struggle is, but that's a deeper conversation. So, but I remember there was this one person that was like, oh, just be big headed. It's okay. You get to take this charge like for a second. I was like, I hear you, but to God be the glory. Like, no, the thing is, it's because I had a place in life where I did that. I wanted to, because I was proud of myself of, ain't nobody help me, ain't nobody do nothing for me, and I this, and I had to do it on my own. Yeah, just built me to be stronger, but it still wasn't me that did it. And it was because it wasn't like the cool thing to say like on social media. So then here it is, I'm looking for this validation that, you know, like this internally making up this whole scenario, but nobody has come and said, hey, that's not cool to say. Like, I just felt that way and kind of went with society and went with the moment and the vibe. No, making my own vibe, baby. It just reminded me of something. I might be developing something about the lines in lineage. I had to say that out loud because that came to me earlier and I was supposed to start writing something down about it and I didn't. The lines of lineage. And it's all something to do about while I was at the track. So I know that's just like me painting that picture there. So I'm saying that out loud for a reference for myself as I go back. But before we get out of here, because I'm telling you, this is definitely about to spill into next week, which I'm totally okay with, because I have notes prepared for the first week of August, but not necessarily for next week. I have some stuff started, but anyway. So it's the fact that, let's see, let me read. What did I say here? So again, you know, that God has been showing me that he doesn't want me to depend on anyone all my life, taking person after person out of my life and or allowing them to betray me or even just not there when I need them or what I need at that time, right? So sometimes it can be like, oh, I need my best friend, I need my sister, I need my bro, I need my cousin, my this and my that. And then there you're just like, I am not getting what I need right now. Like, it's just not it's not doing it. And so there's that, right? And so it's been times where I couldn't even utter what I needed and just needed presence, genuine care, etc. And that's when I was supposed to lean on the everlasting arm of the Lord. Now, in this season, God is showing me that I can't even trust my own self, like so we talked through, with my own purpose because I'll fumble it. That's why I wanted to go back and read my notes. I'll self-doubt and sabotage. So I'm being vulnerable, baby. Okay, I will listen. Listen, like, and it's things that you don't. It's titles and tags that you don't want to wear and that you don't want to put on yourself, but. Hey, when you truly think about it, when you're authentic with yourself, when you're truthful and honest and vulnerable with yourself first, you know, you'll realize, and that's first after God. So you're with yourself, with God, like it's all in alignment. It should be. Then I mean, and just before anyone else. So it's like people think they're working to be vulnerable with someone else. That's where their fear will come in. So you have to be careful. Like if sometimes you allow yourself to be easily accessible to, yes, Kitty. Wow. So you want to get up here? Come on. Yeah, come on. There we go. Y'all, I cannot believe, oh my gosh. Okay. In the next couple minutes, I got to tell you about the cat drama. Or should I might wait till next week. I don't know. We're going to see. Maui, what you think? Should we tell him now? Maui. Okay. Okay. You're just a big boy. You're so heavy. You're a big boy. Okay. So like I said, I'll self-doubt and sabotage. I'm not strong enough to fight off the laziness and joy of lack at times when it comes. Honey, I was writing notes, baby. I'm just here to just share with y'all what I've been working through. I literally need him to survive, to thrive in this. I will get myself in a pickle and focus on how I allow myself to be okay with it to get to this point instead of letting myself off the hook in order to be able to appropriately redirect. Even find myself scared of life at times, which includes success. Sometimes I will scare myself. Like when I find myself in a place, so the place that I had been in, like that anxious place, and where I give kudos to people and generally, of like, oh my gosh, they get up every day and they anchor the news. They cook, food and sell dinners, or they sell cars or just whatever. So I'll be giving people kudos, but then also I'll scare myself like, and I have to now commit to, like, I remember even about this platform, the show, like, I got to commit to every week, like getting up and talking to people, like, oh Lord. So even something good, of course it makes sense, like you scare yourself about something not so good, but even that, like to work out of that, but to scare yourself about success. And I've definitely talked about that before, y'all. We've talked about that of fearing success. So, and it's because I'm doing something that I've never seen. I've never, ever, ever seen it. That's the crazy part. And so what was shared with me is that, and I'll call this segment Ernesto's fortune cookie. Really, really, really good friend of mine. He shared with me a fortune cookie. They said that he did a random fortune cookie from Chinese joint. That it just never left him. And I'm so glad he shared this with me. And I'm gonna start off with this next week. And then this other thing that I have to share. But it read, the reason that intelligent people can go out on the limb is because that's where the fruit is. I ain't even going to dissect it right now. I'm gonna definitely wait till next week. But in short, take the risk. Take the risk. Because your soul is intended to go the distance. It's intended. The intent is there, right? We can measure time, but we can't quite measure loss, good or bad. We're going to get into that next week too. So before we get out of here, where I want to mix this up, right? The B mix. While I have Mr. Man in my arms, this is Maui, everyone. Hi. Okay. All right. Runs my life too. Let me tell you about this cat drama. I thought I was about to start off with it. Y'all heard the commercial. Let me tell you about the 8 times. Okay, sorry. It can do it anytime, anywhere. All right. But y'all, let me tell you about Mr. Okay. Mr. A couple of times throughout the 3 years that we've lived here. So we've had him only 2 years though. No, 3 years. Throughout I think it's 3. The 3 years that we've had him. That we've lived here, that Mr. Man has wanted to step outside. Okay, he's wanted to stretch his legs, get some fresh air. And so he has done that. He did that one good time. And I think that he met the first person, the first young lady that was available. And it's kind of like that's what he gets, right? And just learn from this, ladies and gentlemen, emphasis on the gentlemen. There's this big burly cat. I told y'all about this cat before. I had to. Big burly cat that I thought was a man. Like, it's definitely a woman. And so, like, you can, because I tried to tell you, you can see her rib cage, but she burly. I don't know how to explain it. And so, like, you see her rib cage up here. It's weird. And so, she tried to bum rush herself into my house a couple times, like, she would, like, be behind me, but then not really. Then she at the door. Then I'm bringing groceries in. She tried to run in. It's crazy. So, long story short, he may or may not have 2 illegitimate children out here. I'm not proud of that at all. I'm not one of those mothers that encourages that. And so, long story short, that, he had ran out. And so he was gone for days, though. He's never been gone for that long. He's never, ever been gone for that long. He'd run out and come right back, like, swear. And so this time, and this is why I knew he was out gallivanting, because he ran out the front door. But when he returned, he came to the back door. That told me that you've been around, like, to be able to come out. So long story short, so then that next day I saw that there's another young lady here. It's a beautiful cat. So he has a new girlfriend. Okay. And the big burly cat, the baby's mama, I was awakened at 5:30 in the morning, or earlier than that, by 5:30 in the morning, because the dog, Benji, was in here barking. Like, ruff, 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 ruff. I'm thinking something's really bad outside. It's the big burly cat outside my gate. Like, with the older kid that looks just like him. And he didn't want anything to do with it. I don't know what's happening. I've seen the cat since. She looked like she was out in a fight. So something's going on with her. Like, there's a lot of cat drama going on right now in my house. And I needed to share that to let y'all know what's going on. Somebody, okay, needs to get himself together. I'll keep y'all updated. And that's my life right now. So in a nutshell, just to be able to, give y'all balance of, like, all the deep stuff we were talking about and all of the cat drama, it's all mixed in there. Hence the B mix, being my most authentic self, of sharing my life with you. So if that is not enough for you, it's going to have to be for today, because we are up out of here. Until next time, be sure to keep in mind that your soul is intended to go the distance. Allow it to. Okay? I love you. I honor you. I respect your presence, your most authentic presence. Until next time. Oh, Gigi said, hey, Maui. Until next time, peace.